Hello, beautiful people. Happy Sunday, and welcome to your practical application of astrology, my personal story share. And I have quite a lot prepared, so let's see where this takes us. This time, the channel message is quite long, and I have 6 decks prepared. I don't know if I'm going to use all of them, but I just got guided to pick these 6 decks. So let's see where we go with all of this. So I'm gonna start with the practical application, the personal story share. We experienced eclipse on Monday. I have to keep reminding myself that it was on Monday because actually, to me, it feels like a very long time ago. It really feels like there was some kind of quantum leap, and so much has happened since then that I really have to keep reminding myself that actually the eclipse happened only less than a week ago. And as I think shared last week when I was making my practical application of astrology, my intention was to actually meditate during the eclipse, and that's exactly what I did. So this is the first time when I spent time in a place where the eclipse was actually visible. I'm in Mexico still until the end of the month, and and I could see how the light was fading and stuff like that. And I just went to meditate, and that's what I did. And I listened to some high frequency music. Actually, I listened to Milan Moritz and her channeled angelic music, and I actually shared it on my social media as well. So that's what I did. After that, I channeled the message, and after that, I hop on Instagram where I shared my channeled message. And actually, I recorded 2 videos, so this is a full disclosure because I used a deck which I never used before. It's a brand new deck that I have, and I thought like, okay, well, new moon in Aries, solar eclipse, it's a good time to use a new deck, right? But the message that came through, I just didn't feel it was the right message to share. And then I actually used a different, because there was 2 decks that came to my mind. Actually, a different deck came to my mind straight away to use, but then I was like, oh, but this is a new deck, maybe I should use that one. So I used that one, I recorded the message, and it just didn't sit right with me. So then I actually re-recorded the message by using the other deck, and the card that came out was perfectly in alignment with everything else that I was feeling, and the channeled message as well. So I just used that one, and it felt right. However, then the day later, I made a card pull for myself with regards to eclipse, and I used the same deck, the one that I didn't publish the recording of that card pull, and exactly the same card came up again for me in my own reading, and I was like, okay, now I get it. So this this wasn't meant for the public, this was meant for me as a personal message, and I saw that message everywhere. It was so interesting. But anyway, this entire week, like I said, apart from the fact that it feels like the eclipse happened very long time ago, it's very hard to believe it was only 6 days ago. There's been definitely more things coming up for me personally, more shifts. And as I shared last time, actually, when I recorded my practical application last time, I thought I was going to the dentist later on that day and everything will be done and dusted and finished on that day. Well, not so fast. The dentist was sick, so actually the appointment got cancelled. However, I did go to see the dentist on Friday, so everything is done and dusted now. So I'm very happy that actually things got resolved. The things that I had an issue with, everything got resolved in that one sitting. And now we're moving on. And there were some more things going on with regards to the other stuff that was taking my energy away. And I really feel that universe is presenting me over and over and over again with the same lesson to learn to live with it, to learn to not to learn to live with the lesson as I don't do anything about it, but actually, if there is something I can change it. But if there is something that I cannot change right now, like for example last week, well, the dentist was sick, like, it's not like there was anything I could do about it. So it was like, well, okay, well, you just have to get on with your day, accept it, and change your plans, and just do something different and be okay with this. And this is what I really feel, which is something that I've talked about already many times, which is about removing the charge. If there is a trigger, how quickly can we come back to balance and equilibrium and remove the charge from this trigger, from this situation that has a it has the ability in many cases to take us out of the peace, out of the present moment, out of the state of balance, and then we feel like, oh, now my entire day is ruined. So for example, I had this in my head, like, yeah, I'm going to the dentist a week ago and it's all gonna get resolved in that one day and that's it, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. I can cross it off my list of things that I have to worry about or that are taking my energy or my focus or whatever. Well, and it didn't happen. I mean, it did happen at the end, not on that day. It happened, like I said, it happened later on the same week on Friday. But it didn't happen when I want it to happen, when I planned for it to happen. And then I had to go through another 6 days with having this in my mind that, oh, well, there is still this thing that is unfinished. But because it's been going on for so long, as I've been sharing this dentist stuff, I mean, that was my appointment number 7 or 8. I don't even remember, I lost count. But because it's been going on for so long, like in a sense, universe really like just made me to go like, oh, okay, never mind, and just move on. Where if this would happen the second or third week, I would probably be much more impacted by it and much more stressed and much more like anxious or angry or whatever. But now, because it's been going on for so long, I'm just like, yeah, okay, never mind. So I think this is like what's happening is just a small example, like how certain patterns, because these patterns are coming up for us all the time, because, it's all about pattern recognition with Uranus and changing it. And as we know, Mercury is retrograde. And actually the main 3 things that happened in this week that we just ended was, of course, the eclipse in conjunction with Chiron. So a lot of all wounding still coming up. Chiron is very, very active. And we are going to have Venus conjuncting Chiron next week. So Chiron is very, very active because, of course, being in Aries season, on the last legs of it, because next week we enter into Taurus season, there are all these things that are in Aries being activated. And of course, Chiron has been in Aries since 2018-19, I believe. So Chiron is getting hit by everyone, right? And as I mentioned, Mercury is activating Chiron 3 times. The second conjunction is actually happening tomorrow on Monday, and it's in the exact degree as the eclipse was. And we know that Chiron was conjuncting the eclipse exact degree, exact minute. So Chiron plays a big role, and Chiron is about our wounding, is where we feel vulnerable, where we feel sensitive. And Chiron is the key between Saturn and Uranus. Saturn is the structure, the limitation of the tangible reality that we are experiencing. And Uranus is the going beyond, and now we are in the age of Aquarius, and Pluto is in Aquarius. So in order to get from A to B, from Saturn to Uranus, we need to deal with Chiron, because Chiron is in between, and Chiron is the key. It's bringing the things from our subconscious to conscious so we can see them and transmute them. So as I shared previously, like, yeah, perhaps I don't have, a husband or children or something, and things are not triggered for me through that way. Like I said, like I shared during the lunar eclipse in Libra, I don't have important people. I don't have a physical humans in my orbit, or not many that could play that role, but there are people who are not close to me, or I don't have any emotional attachments that are still playing a role, like dentists or the clerks in the shops or whatever. So this is what I mean. So universe has been presenting us, all of us, I'm sure that it showed up in some way or form, some shape, way and form in everybody's life, with these opportunities to see these old outdated patterns and to keep re-experiencing this situation that triggered this wounding or where we feel vulnerable. So we have to deal with it. And if we can't change it, then we have to learn to remove the charge. We have to learn to get on with our day with knowing that, okay, this is there, it's unresolved, there is nothing I can do about this, and I can just put it on a back burner and just keep going. Because otherwise, just like, for example, I'm going to share an example of my sister. I'm sure she wouldn't mind. She is having some very important exams. So she just studied to become a massage therapist. She completed her course, she completed the exams, everything, but now she has to have another exam from the government body to be licensed by the government, by the state, as a licensed practitioner. And that exam is much more thorough, much more complex, much more complicated, and she is really stressed about it. And this exam is not until the end of the month, but every single day she's stressed about it. Every single day, every single message she leaves me, she's worried about it, she's stressed about it, she's nervous about it, she just wants it to to be done and over. And I'm just literally observing, because I'm like, oh yeah, you know, like I don't have any exams ahead of me, but you know, I had this dentist issue, I had these things that I had to exchange in a shop because there was an issue with them. You know, also I'm coming up to my relocation again, so that's something that causes me a stress, you know, like all this packing and all this, you know. I always have I'm always over when it comes to luggage, which cancel, clear, delete. This time it's gonna be perfect, right? But usually this is the pattern. So this is the story which I keep recreating all the time, like, oh my god, I'm gonna have too much stuff, it's gonna be overweight, I'm gonna have all these issues, you know, then I'm gonna have to, you know, pay extra or something, whatever. So cancel, clear, delete, it's all gonna be fine. But what I'm trying to say is that yes, I could choose to worry about it every day, all day, every day, even though I'm not gonna pack for another like week or 10 days, right? But I could start worrying about it already and start, you know, losing my peace of the present moment because of something that might or might not happen. And the more that I think and worry about it, there is more likely I'm gonna attract it. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm aware this is something that happened in the past. Okay, this is something that can create a concern inside me, but I just choose to not deal with it right now because it's not imminent, it's not important, and right now there is nothing I can do about it. I mean, what am I going to pack all my stuff now and I'm leaving in 2 weeks? So that doesn't make sense, right? So and this is not about judgment. I'm not saying what my sister is doing wrong. I'm just trying to show an example. We have option, right? There is a situation that is causing us distress, or, you know, we worried about or nervous about or stressed about, and then it's up to us how we deal with it. So I'm choosing, okay, I'm gonna deal with it in 1 week or 10 days. I'm not gonna deal with it right now, so I'm just not gonna worry about it, right? For my sister, is the same thing. Her exam is on the 27th, which is actually even after I'm gonna have to pack because it's my birthday on the 26th and I'm not packing on my birthday. I want to be all packed and everything ready before my birthday. So she could also choose like, okay, well, yeah, I have to study for this exam. I need to prepare for this, but you know, I study for it. And then for the rest of the day, whatever, I'm just going to try to focus on different things and don't allow this to ruin my day every day until the 27th for next 2 weeks, right? So anyway, so this is just a small example from my life and from my family environment, but this is something that I'm sure has been playing up and showing up in everybody's life because this Aries eclipse, solar eclipse, happened in a new phase conjunction with North Node, which is saying we're going ahead, there is no more procrastination. It happened in conjunction with Chiron. Okay, we need to face our wounds, anything that is preventing us from stepping into this new direction. Also, Mercury being retrograde. Also, Mercury was already retrograde during the time of the eclipse, and it's going to be retrograde until the end of the month, until the 25th, which is right after the full moon in Scorpio. That is the next lunation. So Mercury is making us to look at things differently, reevaluate, rethink it, you know, use different lens, try to identify it in a new way. And there is no right and wrong because we are at where we are at, but I'm just observing myself, observing people around me and observing the situation and see how these things are coming around over and over and over again, you know, even with these shopping things. Every single time, like I said, I bought something, there was a problem with it. And now like, okay, I'm done with that, you know, everything is sorted. And now the last thing that I resolved, you know, last thing that I exchanged, I come home, I try it on and the thing is too small, you know, so I'm like, okay, yeah, well, you know, never mind. Whereas before I'll be like, oh my god, there is again a problem. Why do I have to? And I'm like, okay, I understand what's going on here now. Universe is just saying, well, you just have to live with the imperfection. You just have to live with things are not perfect and things are not gonna be resolved when you want them to be resolved, exactly when you want them to resolve. And they usually get resolved when we just like don't care anymore. You know, when the situation doesn't hold the charge, doesn't hold the trigger to take us out of that balance, out of that equilibrium, which is again exactly what the situation is created for, to help us to learn that. And this has been showing up for me over and over and over again. And now there is a new situation with my personal life, which I'm not going to share right here and right now. But this is again something which like, okay, well, what am I going to do about the situation? Is there anything I can do about it? Is there anything I can change about it? Or do I need to digest it more? Do I need to learn more lessons with regards to this situation? Whatever it is. But literally, if you look at this from the higher perspective of this planet Earth being a school of life, being a school, being a place where we learn, learn, grow and evolve and go through all these myriad of emotions and all these kind of things, that there always will be something we need to learn. There always will be a new experience. There will be always something that is unfinished, unresolved. Like we can see in the astrological chart, nothing is just in a new phase, or everything is just in a closing phase. No, we have all these things end in beginning, end in beginning, end in beginning. Everything is happening simultaneously. And as I was diving very deep in my interpretation for next week astrological weather, which I already published on my YouTube channel yesterday, my astrological forecast predominantly focused on the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. We're going back to 2010, 2011. With regards to the eclipses, we were going back all the way to like 2003, 2004, whatever. So we can see all these cycles, they didn't get resolved the next year. Or like people would say like, oh yeah, the eclipse, we will get the resolution in 6 months. No, we won't. We won't. We will see more of a manifestation of the seeds that got planted, but everything is always in a cycles. And then we can look at the bigger cycles, like, okay, what does this mean with regards to 100-year cycle or 1,000-year cycle or a Pisces age cycle, which is 2,000 plus years. So I'm like, so this is what we're learning. This is like the card that I received in that reading my friend did for me. Nothing is truly done. Nothing is truly fully finished. It's always in a process of happening, process of evolving. So this is what I feel that, like for me with my linear mind and, my trauma response to my childhood environment, and I'm sure many, many past lives, and my ancestor trauma response to their environment, which is all living within us, right? I want things to be linear. I want things to be sorted. I want things to be perfect, black and white. Is it beginning or ending? What is it? What's going on here, right? But we are multidimensional, and the reality we are playing with, it's continuously changing and evolving, because we are continuously tapping in different timeline where things look differently, and they create a different experience, different impact on us. So this is what I mean. So going through a mundane, like, okay, I'm worried about packing, or my sister is worried about exams, or, there is a situation with dentist, which now thankfully is pretty much ended. I can choose to go one back for the cleaning or not. I already had one, but, like all in all, all the stuff that was problematic and I need resolving is now resolved, right? This is just like, an additional extra if I want it. But nothing is truly done, because will I never need dentist again? Of course not. This is something we will unfortunately need while we're human, in human body. Now, will I never buy anything ever again that I will not have to return or have an issue with? For very unlikely, very unlikely. So this is the thing, like, yeah, we can get the situation resolved to the best of our availability at this present moment, but it's never truly done. It's never truly finished. And this is life. So this is something which I already mentioned previously, because like I said, this is something that's been playing on my mind and in my reality for a few weeks now. So it's something that I've been trying to digest and resolve and process myself. And I'm sure it's showing up in other people's life. It just looks differently. The details of that are different. And yeah, this is what I'm getting at, that, well, we just need to learn to live with certain things. If you can change it, change it. But if you can't change it, or if it's out of your control, or if it's something that we not yet can change or not yet can experience, like for example, for my packing and my flight, which is in 2 weeks, then don't allow that to ruin your piece of present moment, because present is all we have. Like, God knows what's going to happen in 2 weeks, it's Jupiter-Uranus conjunction next week. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with the aviation? Uranus rules aviation, the flight. So, there could be a lot of disruptions. Who knows? Cancel, clear, delete. Who knows? But, that's what I mean. The only thing we can really fully affect is the present moment, right? The present moment is where everything is created from. And like I said, there are these other things going on in my life, in my personal life right now, but I'm not ready to talk about it, but I just wanted to share something. And also, like I said, with this quantum leap and this upgrades and whatever, whatever you want to label it doesn't matter, but these shifts, energetical shifts that, most of us might be or might not be experiencing since the eclipse. And actually, for me personally, what happened, interestingly, with this spending the eclipse doing my meditation and listening to this music and stuff. And then I actually had a private session with my channeling teacher, and he was like trying to guide me, to start channeling verbally and stuff like that. But then actually, he gave me some tips and tricks which I since used, and I started channeling light language. It's not exactly what I wanted to do, but that's what happened, right? So what happened for me this week with regards to the upgrades, I suppose, if you can name it that, whatever is the label, but what has changed between the eclipse and now is that I started channeling light language. Of course, I could engage my ego and go all into like, oh, it's just a gibberish, you're just making it all up, right? Just like with my channeled messages, every time there is an opportunity for me to completely disregard it and say, it's just my ego making it up, it's all in my head, right? Who knows, right? But if we don't open ourselves to the possibility, to the magic, then it always just be what it always was, right? Because like I said, the ego mind, the brain, the ego mind is the archive of the past. It doesn't know what didn't happen. It doesn't know what it doesn't know. So of course, if you start channeling, or if you start doing light language, or if you start doing automatic writing, what is the ego gonna do? It's gonna say that this is something that already happened, which if your experience is that something like this hasn't happened yet, so the ego's gonna say, oh yeah, you're just making it up, you're just writing something from your head, or you're just talking gibberish, like when you were a baby or something, which again is questionable. Are babies actually talking gibberish, or either channeling light language? Who knows, right? Like at the end of the day, like I said, Gemini, Sagittarius, these are mutable signs. This is our how we identify reality and what we believe about it, right? Which is why Mercury is retrograde, and which is why, Mercury is retrograde in Aries, and which is why Jupiter is gonna go into the Gemini, right? And it's gonna be ruled by Mercury. So we have plenty of choices, plenty of options how to look at it, but this is something which, it's in early stages. Obviously, it just happened this week for me, but, I'm holding it like this fragile little, being, this fragile little energy that is in my life, which I know is not fragile, but for me, it's like this newborn, like, oh, there is this new thing in my life, I need to take care of it. So it's something that needs some nurturing, and let's see how it goes. Mercury is retrograde. Who knows what happens when Mercury goes direct, right? So anyway, so these are the few bits and bobs which I wanted to share, because I know that this potentially has been quite hectic week for many people. And as of yesterday, Moon is in Cancer, so I had my lunar return. So we are all reconnecting to our inner world, and to our sense of how do we nurture ourselves, how do we take care of ourselves. And actually, funny fact, I went to the town yesterday and I was like, oh, I want some gelato, like I feel like gelato. And then when I was there, I couldn't do it. This is something that I'm experiencing more and more since I did the cleanse in Virgo season, Pisces season, after the full moon in Virgo, in, when was it? February, March, right? Yeah, the full moon in Virgo was 24th, so it was right after. It was like 26th of Virgo, 26th of Virgo. Do excuse my Mercury retrograde, slips of the tongue. Yeah, it was the end of February. So I did this cleanse, which, like I said, didn't give me the result I wanted, which, again, funny fact, since I stopped worrying about it, and since I stopped, like, obsessing about how much weight am I losing or putting on or whatever, things kind of just regulate themselves. I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not gonna worry about this. Like there's nothing I can do here in Mexico when my body responds certain way, and then I'm just gonna deal with it when I go to Europe, because that's where things can change. That's where things always change for me on a physical level, but here the changes are happening on an energetical and spiritual level. So anyway, going back to this ice cream example, so I literally had ice cream once since I done the cleanse, at the gelato. And I felt really unwell afterwards. Like, full disclosure, I felt really, really unwell. And I actually had another, kind of dessert since, and the same thing. I was very, very sick afterwards. So yesterday I go to the town and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a nice weather. It got very hot now in Mexico and I feel like gelato, right? I couldn't do it. There was just something within me, which every time that I have the option, I'm literally on the street, walking up to the place, I just can't do it. Like there is something within my body which is just like, no, I'm not doing. I don't want that. I don't want that. it's not serving me anymore. But it's like, again, it doesn't mean I'm never gonna have ice cream again, no, but I'm just so much more aware and more conscious, and it's so much harder to go against myself, you know, to go against what I know is right or isn't right for me. Like, it's just much more hard. It's just harder, right? Before it was just like, oh, okay, never mind, let's have ice cream, who cares about the fat and the sugar. But now I just can't do it. Like, it's just it's there is so much more attunement to my body now, because also, you know, with regards to this Uranus Jupiter conjunction in Taurus, which, like I said, I covered yesterday in my video, and I will make a collaboration with Lada about it next week, so I'll be going into more depth. But you know, the whole point about us stepping into our power, it's about reconnecting with our body, with actually this physical shell that we were being given to experience a life through, this instrument of creation, and, you know, for our soul to be able to, you know, manifest through and experience this life through, you know. So we need to be present in it, and that's why I feel that the more we start reconnecting and tuning in, and, you know, like, in a sense, appreciating this avatar, you know, not perfect, but, you know, it serves its purpose and is doing its best, and, you know, all the rest of it, I think it's so much harder to then, like, you know, like, violate it in a way, you know, to go against it. Also, I'm becoming much more strict and aware of my sleeping patterns, you know, like how late do I go to sleep, how much sleep do I get, and it's still work in progress. I'm still not getting as much as I need, but then I'm super tired in the morning, I can't get up, you know, and stuff like that. So, you know, that's what I mean, that this is different subject obviously, but with this eclipse, again, what changes are we making, you know, what outdated dysfunctional toxic patterns are we recognizing now that we just cannot keep repeating. They just don't go into the future with us, or we don't really, you know, see how they're going to be supporting us, and it's becoming more and more conscious, and in many cases not really, you know, comfortable or available for us to keep repeating these patterns. So this is how it's been showing up for me. So yeah, I think I leave it at that with regards to my personal share, because, like I said, the other things that are going on in my life, I still need to digest and brew over, and I'm not ready to share. But yeah, these are some of the things that's been showing up for me. And like I said, you know, it's perfectly reflecting in my little microcosm, this eclipse conjuncting Chiron, and of course the Saturn and Mars conjunction that happened 2 days afterwards, and then we had the Sun and Mercury, because Mars is the rule of the North Node, Saturn is the old structure, the old way how we lived our life, you know, with regards to all these tangible things. But Saturn is now in Pisces. It's saying that does this hold a meaning to go, you know, to have an ice cream for dinner instead of dinner? Does it serve you, you know? Is it actually good for you? Does it support you on your path? Does it make you feel good? And I know that each time that I had something that was bad for my body, since that cleanse, I felt really sick. I actually felt really physically sick, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing this again. So anyway, so this is just one of the example. And then, like I said, with the Mercury is this opportunity to start identifying reality differently, and also to start connecting with it differently. And it's, you know, like, and this is something which, again, you know, like me trying to explain and just getting lost in a wording of that, but like how the brain is just stretching, you know, like the mental faculties, and the more downloads that keep coming in, and the more of understanding and recognition, the more of the soul memory that becomes present, and, you know, this awakening process that we are all going through, consciously or subconsciously. Everything becomes so vast and so, like, multidimensional, and so difficult to just identify, like, in a simple black and white way. So this is what I mean, like, you know, the more that these energies are being present, and the more of them are being present and becoming present and available to us to tap into, the harder it is to interact with the world the same way that we did, you know, when we perhaps weren't aware, or were asleep, or didn't know we had a choice and stuff like that. So that's what I mean. I feel that there are a lot of adjustments that are taking place in many people's lives right now. And yeah, and I do believe that this is all for the better, right? This at least my approach to life right now, and this is what I find the proof for, because whatever we believe, we find the proof for, right? So anyway, so like I said, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm going to read the channeled message now, and then we're going to pull some cards. because I don't know how many of these decks I'll be able to use, because I have 6 of them ready. But anyway, so this time I asked, what do my spirit guides and Starseed family, because I felt the, you know, the Starseed, you know, the cosmos being present here. I also chose the cosmic seed, the Starseed Oracle deck from Rebecca Campbell. So that one wanted to speak, so I'm gonna use that one. But this is what I ask. What do my spirit guides and Starseed family want me to share today? And this is what I received. Great opportunities for upgrades and expansion are available to you at this time on the planet Earth. Don't try to figure out all the logistics and how this might or might not be possible, or try to control how exactly these things are going to manifest in your life. Just set the intention for the highest possible outcome to come through the highest possible timeline, and open yourself up to receiving the desire of your soul. Everything is available, everything is possible. Great changes are happening, and the new is being co-created as we speak. Most of what you can see in the manifested form are the results of the past. However, as the time goes on, more and more of the new seeds and the new intentions will start to become manifested. So choose that which holds the most joy and excitement for you. Choose the timeline that makes your heart sing with joy and gratitude. Stay grounded and stay present. Present moment is the greatest gift, the perfect manifesting place. Always Okay, I have to figure out what did I write. Always check with yourself how you feel. If you can feel any better, do what needs to be done to raise your frequency. Your frequency and vibration determines the outcome of your manifesting intentions. It's all about practice, observation, and grounding in the present moment. Grounding in your physical body, because that's where all your tools reside, awaiting activation. But everything you need is already within you. Anything you desire, you can create. The power is within you, the tools are inside you. Reconnect and you shall find what you are seeking and more. There's always more to be explored, always more to learn, always more to heal. This is the planet of learning, the planet of self-mastery. You will always attract everything you need to learn what you came here to learn. It might not always be easy or comfortable, but it's here to serve the purpose it is meant to serve, to assist your expansion and evolution, to support you on your path of healing, learning, and reconnecting to all of the aspects of yourself that were lost, rejected, or suppressed. Everything is trying to find its way back to wholeness, back to the source, to the all there is, oneness. The process of coming back to oneness has begun. The more you unite with the lost aspects of yourself, the closer you will come to the all there is, to the source of to the sense of home, peace, and unconditional love. That's what's desired, and that's what's being sought at this time. Everything that's happening around and inside of you is happening to support you in this process of healing and reuniting to all there is. There is so much help available to you all at this time, but you don't ask enough. You feel separate and unworthy of receiving. It's time to change that old story. Everything is connected, and so are you connected to everything. Everything is love, because love is all there is. Everything and everyone is therefore worthy of love, because you are love. So don't hesitate to ask for what you need. Ask for help, ask for guidance, ask for support. Whatever you feel you need at this time, help is always available from many places, from many resources. The entire multiverse is at your disposal. Ask and you shall receive. Let go of the preconditioned story that you are not worthy or not important enough, and the angels are too busy to help. We are multidimensional, and so are you. There is no separation of time and space when it comes to higher dimensions and realms. Everything is available at all times. It's just a matter of frequency attunement. So find time to sit in a quiet and stillness and ask for what you need at this time of the greatest change of all. You will be heard and you will be supported. Trust in the divine intelligence and in the guidance you will receive. Open your mind and your heart to unlimited possibilities that lie ahead of you to tap into and explore. The change is here. The time of reconnection has begun. And that's something to be excited about, something to celebrate. There is so much light present on earth at this time, but you are being manipulated to only focus on the shadows and darkness. Start looking at life differently and looking for answers in different places. You might be nicely surprised just how much beauty and light you will find. Earth is beautiful. She is a true gem, and she is your mother while you are being hosted by her. She has so much to offer to you. So much healing is coming from under your feet. Pay attention, ground and connect with nature and her healing powers. The most beautiful and transformative gifts are all out there and they are free. No need to go looking too far. There's a tree or a piece of grass everywhere. Start looking at world through a new lens, through the eyes of your opened heart, and you will see everything very differently. However, if that's not where you are at, or what you are able to do yet, have a love and compassion for yourself, because you are exactly where you need to be at any moment. Just trust the process and open your heart. All the answers already lie within. You are always loved and supported. Believe it and you will find the proof for it. May love, peace and light be with you always. Okay, so I think I read it all. Yes. That's gone very quickly, the 8 pages that I had written. But anyway, so where shall we start? Well, let me just get my PDFs ready. So I am ready. So I'm gonna start with the Elemental Oracle from Stacey DeMarco, because when I was shuffling that one card was very, very eager to be acknowledged. And that card is called Storms, Cleansing Storms. So I'm gonna show you the card and then I'm gonna put it back into the deck and I'm gonna shuffle again and see what else comes out. But this is the card. You can see a person, there is a hand, there is a lot of water, and there are storms, and there is the entire cosmos there. And there is a grass. There is a grass we can ground into, and the water, we can feel, and the reconnection, and open our hand to receiving this support, which might come in unexpected ways, in a ways that are storms, sometimes stormy, right? But look at that, and this person is not afraid. This person is not afraid. This person is connected to the earth, is connected to her emotions. It is supported by the divine intelligence. It is supported, and it's facing the storms, because it knows behind the storms lies the unlimited potential of the universe. And it's number 23, which comes to number 5, which is the number of change, right? The Uranus number, Uranus and Mercury. So, okay, so the card Storms, Cleansing, says, sometimes you need to raise a lot of energy to blow away what you no longer need. An issue will come to a drastic head. Cleanse your body, let go of what you feel you no longer need. Be specific in your release, harm as little as you can. And the world of power is Tempestas, Latin for storm, and then it explains how storms are created, and the element is air. Here we go. So I think the card is pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, I feel that a lot of us are facing a lot of storms in our personal lives, and of course we are and we'll continue to be facing a lot of storms that are, outside of us to support us on our journey, but we are supported. We have everything we need. The ground, the earth is beneath us, and the water, right? So anyway, let's see what else comes out. But I thought it was quite interesting, that card. Okay, so is there any other element that we need to be aware of at this time? Oh, okay, this is 2. Of course, fire and volcanoes. So we have a storm and now we have a fire that needs to blow and a volcano. So, okay, let's look at the fire. So you can see there is a person that is actually playing with the fire because the fire of creation is within us. You know, we have all the elements present within us and outside of us to help us co-create what we need. But again, this person is not afraid. Look, she's actually, is it a she? I think it's a she. She's in a control of creating whatever she wants, and it looks like she's pretty excited about whatever she's creating. You know, this unlimited potential of the universe. The fire, ignition, fire, the number 8, and we are in the year 8, year of manifestation. And here we have number 9 right next to it, which is the closing, volcanoes, power. Things needs to come to a blowing point, you know, because there are certain things that needs to be released, just like the first card said. What do we need to release? So we had that one, which I put back in a deck, and now we have, you know, things are being released. There are storms because things needs to be released because there is a fire that wants to be used for creation of something different, something that is actually in alignment. And we have the volcano, and let's check what's at the bottom of the deck. Oh, we have the north, expansion. Look at that. This is where we head in. This is where we head in. It's Aurora Borealis, and it's the number 1. Right to the beginning, number 1. We are creating a completely different reality, different universe. Look at all of that. Magic. Wow. Okay, these cards are quite brief for interpretation, so let's just read what they have to say. But I think the message is quite clear to us. Okay, fire. So that's the first one that came out. Fire. Here we go. Live your passion. Allow your spirit to drive you forward. Don't overthink the situation. Now is the time to innovate and take action. Be lighthouse for others to find yourself a mentor. And word of power is Loga, Norse for blaze. And the element, it traditionally corresponds with the element of east, although in the southern hemisphere this is also aligned with north. There we go. Okay, and the volcanoes, power. Step into your power to create what you want, right? Old grudges should be released and let go. Heavy energy hurts us should we hold on to it for too long. Allow your anger to flow through you rather than saving it all up for an explosive release. Reformation might be necessary. Sometimes the greatest powers are hidden from view. You have the power to create or destroy. And the word of power is dynamis, ancient Greek for force and power. Element fire. Right? There are storms to make you tap into your own fire. Potentially get angry to release whatever needs to be released, because sometimes we get, you know, through being triggered, there is an anger that comes out to help us release something that got stuck long time ago, and that is all to help us co-create this new reality that we are creating. North, the North Star, right? The North Node in Aries, which is the fire. Okay, North. Here we go. Expansion, be guided, but do your research. Focus and honesty is needed to overcome obstacles. You know your true north, so be brave about the next steps. We might have a number of purposes in life, not just a single one. It is time for a true adventure, and the word of power is Boreas, Greek for god of the north wind, element air. So we had 2 airs and 2 fires. Okay, so here's what we got. Okay, so those are the elements. Storm is brewing to help us release some long suppressed anger, so we can actually create something better out of it. That fire that's been used for creating something that no longer serves us. Okay, and now we're going to go to the cosmic seed. The Starseed, I don't know why I call it cosmic seed. That's a completely different deck, which unfortunately I do not have. Well, right at the bottom of the deck is You Are Not Alone. I didn't even shuffle. Isolation, physical connection, and community. You are not alone. And look, there is also a flash of lightning there, you know, as above, so below, as within, so without. And the portals, you know, these portals of change that are bringing all this instability, they are also opening us up to reconnection to everything there is, right? So anyway, I'm not gonna read about this one, you know, but I'm going to see what else comes out. But that was very interesting that this card, like I just picked up deck and by mistake, I mean there are no mistakes, right? I put it up, you know, this way, you know, so I could see the bottom deck, and this is the one. You are not alone. So let's see what else comes out. It was 4411, just as I said that. Okay, Starseed Oracle. This is actually one of my soul decks. I love this deck so much. Okay, this card, let's see. Deep cellular healing. Oh my gosh, that's what the message was. There is a lot of healing going on at the moment. Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. Look, all the water and all the gateway. Again, gateway to something grander, something greater. You know, we are all part of everything. You can see she's like part of this, you know, this wave of energy that is pulling her in this new doorway, right? Or she's coming from there, whichever way we look at it. But either way, you can see all the light. The light is within her. So the more we heal, the more light we can access that is within us. So we remove the blockages, and that's why this volcano, right, this fire is needed because there are a lot of things that needs to come out, a lot of anger. And I mean, do we allow the anger to consume us or to create something that is actually good for everyone, right? And you can see, yeah, I love these cards. They're so beautiful. Here we go. So let's see, deep cellular healing. Deep cellular healing. Okay, here we are. Arcturus energy, right? Physical and emotional healing. Your body knows how to heal. Healing is your natural state. Physical and emotional disharmony can be a reflection of how the world, inner and outer, has been out of alignment. If you are suffering from a mystery or chronic illness, don't allow yourself to think you've done something wrong. Today, it's difficult to navigate our health. In this card, if this card has made its way to you, you're being called to focus on your healing in practical ways, to prioritize your health, to be kind and tender to your miraculous body, to give yourself the grounding and care you need, to put your body first, to nourish yourself as you would a newborn baby, to treat yourself with tender care. You might be called to switch things up with your body and your emotional well-being, to call in a team of helpers to support you in navigating any challenges you might be experiencing emotionally. The Arcturians are a galactic group of beings who have mastered deep cellular and emotional healing. They want you to know that it's possible to feel vibrant in your body and well in your skin, to have your cells return to effervescence and vitality, to find calmness and contenderness, to have a soothed nervous system and tranquil heart. And Starseed activation, place the card on the portal of your heart and whisper the following: I take back my vitality and energy and feel more and more healthy each and every day. My body knows how to heal. My body knows how to heal. Okay, unfortunately my neighbor decided it's a good time to drill on Sunday morning. Again, there's not much I can do about it. This is Mexico and people do what they want when they want. So I hope that it's not too loud, but I can hear it, so it's probably being heard on the recording. But anyway, yeah, I guess there is a symbolism in that, you know, again, all this noise, you know, like what are we healing? What is wanted to be acknowledged? All this noise of our inner world we are not paying attention to. Okay. Okay, guys, unfortunately, I tried to wait, but he just keeps drilling, so I'll just have to keep going on. But, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen with the drilling. But anyway, at the bottom of the card deck was this card. Force don't follow. Again, you can see how there is a person, just like there was in the previous card, and is facing a new world that's being created. Like she's still like in a cosmos, like, so it's still in the process of manifesting, but it already exists in her vision, as above so below. So because we can tune into it, it already exists. It's just not here right now. And this one say, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. So if you wait until the path is perfectly paved, you won't be forging your own path. You will likely not even take the first step. Don't let a small detail like being unable to find someone to show you the way be the reason you don't step forward and lead. Let it be the reason that you do. The most courageous and needed leaders are the ones who don't wait for permission or until the morning they wake up feeling ready. They take a deep breath, put one foot in front of the other and figure it out as they go. Don't wait for someone to lead them. They lead themselves. This is a card for leaders. You're here to pave a path that hasn't been walked before. To go first and lead the way for others, who are calling you in. If you feel misrepresented in the media, step forward to all those who also feel misrepresented. If no one's speaking out on the topics you feel passionate about, share your unique voice. There is no one on earth who comes close to possessing your unique combination of skills, gifts, and your life experience. Don't look to those who have come before you to work out your path. Leaders must forge their own. Do it for your daughter, do it for the younger you, do it for the leaders who will follow. When you go first, you make it easier for others to follow and lead. Forge, don't follow. And Starseed Soul Inquiries. How are you being called to forge rather than follow? How can you be the leader you wish you had? So I think it's quite clear what's happening. Well, so the first card we saw was you are not alone, because we are not alone. There is always help and support available, just like it was in the message that I read. And then we are all going through deep healing, so we start trusting ourselves. So we reconnected ourselves, exactly like I was saying in my video yesterday with the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, how genius it was to disconnect us from our own body, because all the power, all the skills, all the gifts exist within us. So the more we heal and evolve, which is coming up to the surface through these storms and volcanoes that we are experiencing at the moment, and this burst of anger, which we then have the opportunity to investigate. Why do I feel this way? Where is it coming from? Where do I feel that I'm disempowered, right? And then the healing can take place, because it reminds us of something that happened long time ago. Trigger is always something that happened long time ago. So situation of the present moment is triggering something that is unhealed from the past. So once the healing take place, and I mean this is a never-ending process, right? Because there is always more to heal on planet Earth. But the more we heal, the more we have the access to create our own sense of leadership, step into our own authority, which is all about this, Capricorn, this age of this year ruled by Saturn, number 8. And also there was the card number 8 we pulled before. So this is the year where we are invited to step into our own authority to create the reality we want. And yes, because we are co-creating a very different world, there are not many people you can follow, because that which is being manifested and these people represented is the old world. So we learn from not mistakes of the past, but from the experience of the past, and we are stepping into our own leadership qualities and co-create with the cosmos. And then you can create whatever you want, not whatever somebody else is creating for you, because we all are experiencing reality from our own vantage point, but the reality we're creating, it's in your hands. You create it. So the more we heal, the more we tap into the ability to create the reality we want by becoming our own leader. Don't wait for someone to show you, but become that which you want to become. So anyway, so that's pretty much in alignment. It's a continuation of the message that just was before. Okay, now I want to pull a card from the Hidden Realms. So this is the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. I really do apologize for the noise, but like I said, there is not much I can do about it, and I don't know how long these people are going to make noise. So anyway, here we go. Wisdom of the Hidden Realm. So okay, let's just tune in. Okay, so what are the guidance we can get? Additional guidance from the spirit. So Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. What do we not see? Okay, there is a card poking out. Okay, so this one is in reverse. the High Lord of Gratitude and Service, Selflessness, Humility and Conscious Action, card number 2, and it was reverse. So we can see a Buddha with his lotus flower sitting on the ground, you know, and all the light around him. It's hard to tell where he is. It's some kind of like a garden, right? Garden, and you can see again the sky, all the cosmos behind him, and he's grateful and he's creating from the place of simplicity. There is not much going on, you know, around him. He's just in some very simple place, but he holds the lotus flower because the lotus grows from the mud, from the difficulties, you know. So this is, and he is wearing red, which is again the color of fire, the color of creation. So we're gonna create our future from the experience of the past. All the difficulties we went through that we experienced made us who we are, and that is helping us to create what we want to create. But we need to be grateful for all of it, the good, bad and ugly, which is, it's always easy to be grateful for the good things. Like, for example, for me right now, do I feel particularly grateful for this noise? Not really, you know, but there is always a reason and meaning in everything. Like, why now 2 weeks in a row I'm being disrupted every time I'm making this video? And it's literally last week I made it on different day. I made it on Saturday, now I'm making it on Sunday. So there is always opportunity, I guess, for gratitude and go like, okay, well, what is this trying to show me? And it's trying to show us like, well, the path is not always easy. That's why the lotus flower is not always easy. You know, the path to enlightenment is never easy. It always goes through difficulty, but we persevere, we keep going, and we have to be grateful, right? And conscious about what's going on. So let's see what this card wants to tell us in reverse position. The card number 2, which is about polarity and duality, right? Which is the multidimensional opportunity to see the world from the through multidimensional lens. Like, yeah, we can look at situation at the face value and say this is terrible, or then there is a, okay, well, what is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to show me? Why is this happening? You know, this other lens of looking at it for which we can be grateful. Like, okay, now I understand. Like, now he stopped drilling. Is he gonna keep? I don't know if he's gonna keep drilling, but I'm like, okay, well, there is a reason why he keeps drilling when I'm making my video. So, like, what is the meaning here? Well, the meaning is, well, you have to be grateful you have a phone that you can create a video, and the circumstances are not always gonna be easy. Imagine on the journalists that are taking news from war zones, right? I mean, it's not always easy, right? So sometimes we just have to, I guess, deliver the message no matter what the circumstance. And this is literally what we are facing in the world. The circumstances of the world are not easy. Now, are we gonna wait for the perfect world? You know, like, no. We have to become our own leader, right? We have to become our own leader. Because, you know, where is that? The volcano is erupting and the storms and all the rest of it. Well, now, you know, I put it back in the deck. Anyway, let's look at this High Lord of Service, you know, this one. So what is it saying for us? But actually it was in reverse. So let's Challenger, when the High Lord of Gratitude and Service comes to challenge you, he signals a time for deep self-inventory. Ask yourself if your desires are driving you to become more self-serving. Have you forgotten to help others? Are you so focused on arriving at your goal or destination that you become isolated from the ones who care for you? Do your ambitions relate to making yourself special, apart from others or better than they are? Have you become competitive, envious, or driven? The High Lord of Gratitude and Service challenges you to accept a gentle gift in the form of a new perception of health and ambition. There is an ancient saying scrawled on the stone wall: true ambition is not what you believe it to be. No focus on winning and a jeweled prize, no amount of pomp and circumstances will achieve true prosperity. True ambition is the deep desire to live usefully and walk humbly under the grace of the divine in service to all. You can also apply this to relationships. The impulse to have your own way or control how things will be serves only to push away the one you love. It creates an energy block that repels your desired outcome so that it's far out of reach. Let go and let the divine lead you to the highest outcome. In a tiny, still moment of surrender, miracles are born. When you shift your perception in alignment with this High Lord, success will indeed be yours. So I feel a lot of, this like a lot of this driving for success and competitiveness and stuff again comes from separation. We feel there is not enough for all, but actually, like, like I've been saying, and like also, it's been confirmed in this message, channeled message, that we are all trying to return back to wholeness, so we don't feel separate. So it's about, this gratitude, like, gratitude for what we experiencing, but I really feel that it's trying to help us understand that all this was just like everything that we've experienced until this point was helping us to realize what it feels like to be in this energy of separation and greed and competitiveness and each for themselves. And it got to the point where there are not many people that are happy. So they say, okay, well, we've tried this way, we maxed it out, I've done all this, I've had all this, I've achieved all this. Why am I still unhappy? Like, probably people who are very, very wealthy, you can very, clearly talk about that, well, actual wealth, the physical material health doesn't guarantee happiness, right? Because it still makes them feel very alone. It makes them feel very separate from everyone else, which is why a lot of people do want to be of service and help and offer their time and energy and resources, to help others and stuff, because they crave that connection. So I feel really the deeper meaning of this card is like to understand that everything that happened to bring us to this point was to show us the totality of what happens when we are not unity consciousness, where we don't feel that we are part of the one, where we don't co-create the world that is for the best good of all, but actually there are all this separation, all these hierarchies, and all this somebody is better than somebody else, and somebody has and the other one doesn't. So this is also what I've been describing with regards to the age of Aquarius. It's all about equality. So that's where we have it, but we have the understanding that, okay, we wouldn't become who we are, we wouldn't know what we know if we wouldn't have gone through all of this, because we learn through polarity. So that's why everything holds a purpose and meaning. We learn through polarity. So if all of this didn't happen, we wouldn't know. We wouldn't be able to appreciate peace if there never was a war. Now, do we need to have more war? No. But, it was necessary at certain point in our, I guess, evolution to understand that polarity. But now it's no longer desired, it's no longer necessary, right? Because we evolving. But in order to become this, in order to become enlightened, we had to go through the mud. And that's where we at. So it's about understanding the higher meaning, the higher message of why things are happening the way they are. Okay, and now we have already 1 hour, so I'm not going to be able to use all the deck, but I just want to use this one, Angel Guidance, and then the deck. Like I said, I already had the opportunity to share message from the deck, and I chose not to. So let's use it this time. Okay, so let's see. Angel Guide, here we go. Angel Guide from Carl Gay. We're just going to get one guidance card from the angels. Okay, the angels, what they want to tell us with regards to the energies we are experiencing right now. And expect miracles just flew out. Look at the cheery, happy face. Expect miracles. Yeah, everything is possible. Everything is available. Just open yourself up to, look, she's like open, open, like, hey, bring it on, Expect miracles. It's beautiful. And at the bottom of the deck, it's saying no. Learn to say no. You learn to say no to the things that are not good for you. Open yourself up to receiving the things that you want. But in order to receive what we want, we need to create space. And that sometimes requires for us to say no to things that are no longer in alignment, right? So we say no to things that, yes, we are grateful for these to take place because we had to learn the lesson. But like I said, like for example with the war, how many more times do we need to learn the same lessons? I think by now we all understand the lesson, right? So okay, let's go to the expect miracles. Expect miracles, your message. Miracles occur naturally. They are always ready to unfold. Your angels are encouraging you to prepare yourself for them now. A miracle doesn't have to be an extravagant change in circumstances. It can be a simple shift of energy that creates a wave of love in your life. If you need something positive to happen or you are praying hard for something, this card brings you a message for something exciting and healing is about to unfold. Again, healing, something exciting and healing. healing is about to unfold. In order to help this along, you are being guided by your angels to recognize and honor your own worth. Realize that you are absolutely worthy of miracles. This is exactly what was in the channeled message. You are worthy, you deserve. And they will unfold in your life. Your entire life has been brought together by miracles. They are happening all the times, and the miracles that you need isn't a difficult one, because in the hands of the divine anything is possible. That's exactly what the message said. Everything is possible, everything is available. Extended message: place yourself in a golden light. Remember that the light of God is within you, right there in the heart of your being, your soul. Good things can happen for you, but in order to manifest something wonderful in your life, you have to believe that it is possible. You could be seeing the miracle you need as possible, or even as too big for you to achieve. You can see it as impossible, or even as too big for you to achieve. Ultimately, this is exactly what is blocking you from happening, so change it. What is blocking it from happening, so change it now. Your angel guide is inviting you to open your mind and heart and see what you need being delivered to you. Feel that it is already in your life. Feel grateful for all your blessings, and you will allow the miracles you deserve to unfold. So there we go. Open yourself up to receiving whatever you want, because everything is possible and everything is available. And yeah, the no card, I'm pretty sure, is just saying about setting boundaries, because that's quite clear. No, your message, your angels are drawing close at this time to help you recognize that the answer to the question on your mind is no. But I still feel this is with regards to not what you think is possible, but what you think needs to be put boundaries on. This is not the time to proceed. You might want to, but you are being encouraged to see beyond the current situation and understand that following through on your ideas might have a negative effect on the whole course of your life. Angels are swooping in because they want to save the day and save you a lot of heartache from a choice that is not heart-centered. If you are feeling upset or annoyed by this guidance, it is okay. You are allowed to have an emotional response, but in truth, there will be a part of you that already knows that what you are considering isn't the best use of your energy. Extended message: do not make plans, do not move forward. Retreat and reflect. Think deeply. Seek the advice of those you love and trust, and ask them to help you to get to the bottom of the question or issue or decision that is before you. Do not make any sudden moves. This card is coming to help you sustain your mental, emotional, and spiritual energy and stay on the road to wholeness. I think this is connected to healing. You know, if we are making also the volcano and the anger, you know, if we are making a decision based on a trigger reaction to something that happened in the past, and we are not in our heart center, that we might be contributing to manifesting the same outcome, or contributing to manifesting something that is not in our highest good. So that's why I feel that it's important, like, you know, also like it was said in a channeled message, to be still and present and grounded and be able to reconnect to yourself, and then know when to say no to things that are no longer in alignment, to be able to set boundaries, and also when to take more time when you're not sure if this is what you want. And, you know, believe in miracles. Everything is possible. So if it's not what you want, then maybe wait, right? Because, and this is the situation in my life, which I'm not ready to share right now, where something looks exactly as what I feel I want, but the body says no, the heart says no. So then it's like sometimes, you know, things might look a certain way, but actually they don't feel right. So, you know, but for us to know how we feel, we need to heal, because so we don't run away from our emotions no more. So anyway, so everything is possible, everything is available, but what are we tapping into to create it, right? Okay, 107, quickly. This one card from this deck, which I wanted to use last time, the Inner Child Healing deck, because your ultimate healing comes from within. And look at this cute little angel at the bottom of the box. Okay, so the inner child healing, because this is exactly what's going on planet. There are a lot of unhealed, wounded children that are a continuation of unhealed, wounded ancestors. So that's why let's be mindful from which place are we making these choices, but also be open to receiving and also open to guidance, and believe that everything is possible, right? So let's see with the inner child. Just one card. We're not gonna check the bottom of the decks because the time is running away from us. The quantum leaps. Okay, one card jumped out. Choose yourself today. Look at that. And it's like a angel fairy, you know, with, you can see there is like a ball of light and like a little angel fairy, and everything is cloudy. We don't know where we're heading. We don't know what's on the horizon. So choose yourself, ground yourself, reconnect with yourself, heal. Do not deny your importance. Number 8, another number 8. This is already a second number 8 we get in. Choose yourself today. Our inner child has always been sensitive to a promise broken and desire disregarded or a hope lost. It is paramount that we show our inner child and by default our present selves that they are important to us through our actions. And then there is exercises and journal prompts. Choose yourself. Okay, let's just check. It is never truly the end. Oh my God, this is the card that's been coming up for me. The card that I've been telling you about. Beloved, in this, everything will be okay. It is never truly the end. This is literally the card that's been coming up for me over and over again. And now it's coming up here. And it's the number 19, which is the Sun card in Tarot. And 1 and 9 makes 10, which is the end. But it's never truly the end. It is never truly the end. This is just the journey. Fool's journey. Endings are inevitable part of the rhythm of life. They are bittersweet in nature and can seem to come at the least opportune moments, though it is often truth that when one door closes, another opens. This might not always be what we would wish for at the time, and it doesn't always bring us the comfort we desire. Many times the open doors that endings create can bring about conflicting emotions within. If you help pull this card, allow yourself to feel whatever you feel around these current endings in your life. Okay, I think that's perfect message for us with regards to what's going on, because we know a lot of things are culminating, coming to the end. A lot of people are afraid, and it's important to feel what we feel, but at the same time, know when to say no and when not to proceed. Believe in miracles, and it's time for healing, because we created a new world, right? And remember to be grateful for everything that we come before, because it had its purpose. So anyway, guys, much love to all, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.